it definitely feels different doing the 15 instead of the higher weight, but that's how it goes. Oh man. It's nice and warm in here now. Definitely gets warmer faster with the higher rep count. The weather keeps being so weird where I'm at. It gets like 80 degrees. We're in Celsius. That's 25 degrees, and then drops down to being in the 60s. That's 12. I can go ahead and do a set with the 15 pounds. Oh, what's up, Dixie Vixie? How's it going? It says, damn, your arm muscles are looking strong. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to switch over to shoulder press now. Did you have a good weekend, Dixie Vixie? Yeah, I keep track of my exercises on paper. Um, I have a horrible memory when I'm working out. I lose track very easily of what I've done, so I have to write it down as I do it. And I second guess if I don't write it down, then I end up doing extra work because I'd rather err on the side of caution and it's really annoying. So I have to write it down. I get very like paranoid about it if I don't write it down. I write down my routine before I start and then just mark off with a tally as I go along. Yeah, my weekend was pretty relaxing. Says Dixie Vixie. Got to play with my guitar. What about yours? Mine was good. Just hanging out with my kids. We had a birthday party for my brother-in-law at my house, so that was fun. What kind of guitar playing do you do? Any particular genre or? Dixie Vixie says, "Ooh, sounds nice." It was nice. It was fun. It was a good weekend. My kids had a birthday party to go to where they got to is that like a farm set up where you go and see like the different animals and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I usually do calm songs. It fits my voice, like cigarettes after sex. All right. I like uh I like calm songs. Good I like a good folk song. I like a nice relaxing song that tells a good story. He says, "I bet they loved it." Are they little? Yeah, they're pretty little. Um, he said, "We are sad song lovers." Yeah, I grew up listening to my dad used to play like more older country, like Hank Williams, or other songs like uh, Roger Miller. But my favorite songs are always songs that told stories. They're they're fun. I don't have a good singing voice, but I like to sing to my kids and do songs that are stories. Easy ones. Uh, like I like um, this old hat this by Chris Ledoux, or um, Kenny Rogers is an easy one to sing, and Kenny Rogers has a lot of good story songs. It makes it nice. My dad always sang to us when we were kids, and he has a much better voice than I do, but I still give it a go. And then just for good measure, I'll throw in like newer songs or faster songs that I like too. There's a lot of good songs out there. Vic says my dad never sang, so I guess it's really fun for you as a child. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. I mean, it wasn't like he was like singing all day long, but like in the car and stuff on road trips, he'd sing. Um, sporadically singing. It was fun. How long have you been doing the guitar? I think I've always. Dixie says, "Yeah, I think I've always wanted to learn the guitar, but I think most people. I think if most people could, they'd play the guitar." I never learned to play guitar. I did play the alto sax and bari sax when I was younger, and played started playing in middle school and played in band up in high school. It was fun. I like the saxophone. Started it 4 years ago, but I only know the simple versions of chords, nothing fancy, but good enough. Says Dixie Vixie. Yeah, I mean, not to get super complicated. I think as long as you have fun and enjoy it, My my great uncle used to play when we'd have family reunions and family get-togethers. He'd always play, and we'd all like the whole family would sing songs together. It was a lot of fun. Um, but we do like he'd sing like regular songs, but then we had a bunch of like silly songs we do as a family, and it was a lot of fun as a kid. Everyone we're talking about like multi-generational getting together. Yeah, it was. It was super bonding. The hard part was like when he passed away, and man, when he passed away, like it was weird. I didn't really cry at the funeral. And I felt like it's like one of those things where it's hard to miss somebody for me at their funeral because they're not supposed to be there. But the first like family reunion we had, and his daughter, my cousin, played the guitar as well, and she started playing for the group. That's when like I really like broke down and missed him the most. Even when he was dying, he got cancer in his stomach, and he did like chemotherapy at one point in the surgeries and beat it. It went into remission, and then it came back, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm not doing this again." Like, so he went to hospice, or he had hospice care at home. He was at home, um, in the end, but we would still sing. Um, the last two songs I ever heard him try to sing or sang with him was uh, "Take It Easy" and then "Amazing Grace." But um, that one for a long time, whenever I hear that song, it would choke me up. It still would choke me up. Yeah, take it easy, take it easy. The sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, I would say if you have kids, I would definitely encourage singing to them because they'll be your biggest fans. I don't think my kids know yet that my voice isn't good, but singing to them and reading, like the nice thing. My dad would also like read to us, um, like different chapter books out loud, and as years go by, when I pick up those books and I start reading them, I can hear his like voice in my head. And he's still around. My dad's alive, but even when he's gone, I'll still be able to hear his voice when I pick up those books. He said, but they will definitely remember when you are singing, not your bad voice, smiley face. Yeah. Oh, I hope so. I like singing and I like whistling. And I usually wake up with some sort of song in my head. Sometimes it's very random. And I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if it's like a hangover from dreams or what song gets picked in the beginning of my day. But I'll just something will be in my head. Um, I try to analyze it when I think about it, but and put together why it's there. Sometimes it's just there's like tones, like when you wake up in the morning and the first like note of something you hit or you like drag a chair across the floor or something will put a tone in my head and that'll match up with some song. I don't think like it's that, but sometimes too I think it comes from whatever the last like dream I was having or kind of the themes of dreams I was having. Dixie Dix says, "Oh wow, interesting. Are you do you dream a lot, Dixie?" Always been a big dreamer. I've had like always had vivid dreams and learned how to dream like control my dreams a lot when I was younger. Dixie Dix says, "I do, but I believe like most people, it's always weird. I wonder if they mean anything." I don't know. I've used dreams to solve problems, or sometimes dreams will make you can analyze them yourself to find meaning. Like, why are you fixating on something in a dream? Some dreams are just weird. Ah. I would definitely say like be careful not to overanalyze your dreams, or don't like go to someone and have them someone you don't trust analyze your dreams because people can get things wrong and put their own interpretation on what you see. I guess you're right. More just for fun purposes, says Dixie Vixie. I have this dream. Like I've had this dream a couple of times where I'm as old as I am, and I'm looking at my life, and I don't have my wife or my kids, and my life feels so like I look at all that I've accomplished and where I'm at in life, and it always feels so like empty during the dream, and I feel like I'm like I've missed something, you know. And I'm not bad off in my dream. I've got, you know, I have jobs, I've got life experience, but something just keeps feeling off and like really bothers me in the dream. And then usually like right before the dream ends, like I'll remember like, oh no, dude, you've got a wife and kids. Like you've got all this other part of your life that you forgot about. And then I remember them, and then my like life feels better. my it suddenly becomes a more happy dream towards the end. So Couple man, hello Timothy. Good luck with for the workout, man. Thank you very much. Cop, I'm gonna say Copa man or Couple man. Copa man. This is odd. They're your world. They definitely are. It's a huge blessing. Copa, it's good. All right. I'm glad I waited till I was a little older to have kids. I feel like having kids younger, like would have made me, I don't know, feel like I missed out on stuff, but I waited long enough and feel like I missed out on anything. And I know, like, you know, when my kids are grown up, I can go back to doing whatever I want again. So I think it's hard for people that like have kids really early. Dixie asked, "What time is it for you?" By the way, it's like 6 a.m. I'm on the West Coast, Cali. He says, "Oh wow, such an early workout. Nice. It's 4 p.m. here." Oh man says you'll be the next Superman. That would be nice. Yeah, that's the having kids. I have to get in and get this workout down before they wake up. I gotta get them up and get them ready for school. So it's all about getting it in and getting it done. It's it's hard because they also like stay up late. So like I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning But like last night, they were like up and active till almost like 10:30, and then I don't think I got to sleep till like 11. So rocking out with 5.5 hours of sleep, which was also interrupted at um, like 1:30. One of my kids woke up and came to my bed, and then I had to take them lay in theirs because they move around a lot, and I don't want them to wake up my wife. So we spent the night in my kid's bed. So you're an early bird against your choice. Dixie says, yeah, I'm not an early bird. The nice side is that if I wake up before everyone else, when they wake up, I'm in a good mood. Like if I'm up like 30 minutes before everyone, it gives me a chance to drink coffee and wake up and be happy. And my wife is an early bird. So she wakes up really happy. And then she wants me to be up and happy. And if I'm not up before her, it's just so much harder. So it's easier to be awake first. I'm going to do the 20 pounds, 9.07 kilograms. A minute. Dixie says, yep, night out here too. I couldn't be happy waking up at 7 or so. I mean, on my own, I would never wake up before 8, probably 9. And when I was younger, I definitely would have no problem sleeping till 10. But I get like, my mind races a lot. And so around 10 o'clock is when I can focus my best. So from like 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. was always my best time for like getting homework done or projects. Dixie Vic says, one day I'll go to the gym and do my first pull up. Good. Good. What are you going for that? So agreed, it's really hard to function before 10. Yeah, it is. I like a 10 a.m. wake up. Goba says Dixie, hopefully soon. Man, I haven't done pull-ups in a while. I don't know how many I could even do now. The When I was at 246 pounds, I could like barely do one, and that was rough. So I used to be able to do a lot when I was younger, but no, it's 246, not 296. 296 would have been really, really hard. But it's funny is I would have been guaranteed at 246 if I hadn't turned it around. I probably would have hit 296 like within a year. It's like when so the heaviest I weighed prior to 246 was I got to 235 the previous year, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose all the weight. And in 3 months, I got down to 203 pounds. I was doing good, but I was like pushing it really hard, and I tore my pec, and then so then I couldn't run, couldn't jump rope, I couldn't do a lot of exercises because I had to let it heal, and I just put back on the weight, and so I ended up at 246, which was the heaviest I ever weighed. But the part that was crazy is it only um, took me 9 months to get there, but the first like few months was very slow, and then I got to like 220, and then 220 to 230. It was a short amount of time, and 230 to 240, it felt like overnight. Like it was so fast, and it scared me because I was like, man, if you don't stop and fix this, you're gonna just keep going, and you're gonna be, at 300 pounds before you know it. And so that year, I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna worry about weightlifting. I'm just gonna focus on losing weight. So I started with walking, then jogging again, then running, and jump roping, and just watching my diet really closely. Like it got pretty extreme. Like I was down to um, eating like 1,300 calories on the regular, and I'm still working out and walking. But I dropped 60 pounds, just over 60 pounds that year. Got down to 184 from 260, or two from 246. I got down to 184. And that was a lot. 60 Vic says, "Ouch! I'm glad you recovered. So awesome. Thank you, Dixie." Yeah, I'm too. I mean, I think it's hard. I think it's hard when like you put on that weight, and then I think it's hard when you're like coming down because I noticed there's two like problems I run into when I'm trying to lose weight. Is one, like that first time, putting such an emphasis on losing like 30 pounds in 5 months. Like it's doable, or in 3 months. It's doable. Anyone, you can lose 30 pounds in 3 months, but you're not setting yourself up for sustainable habits. I feel like when you do it that way. So the next time I did it, I gave myself a year, which gave me a time to adjust at each like point. And by the time I was done with a year, um, it helped me get rid of a lot of bad habits that I had, and it made when I did overeat a lot more uncomfortable and a lot more painful to like overeat. So that, and made me more aware of it. I could feel it more because when you already are overeating, or in my case, overeating and over drinking, the combo, you're always kind of used to not feeling good. So you get used to the not feeling good issue, and it just keeps going. So, stopping that feeling for so long and like feeling good again, it helps it last longer. Versus if you're crash dieting is also painful and uncomfortable. So it's easier to go back to the uncomfortable side of like overeating. But if you are steadily fixing your diet, it gets better and you feel better as you're doing it. And then, so there's a noticeable difference between when you overeat. So I think like a steady, reasonable goal. I think if you're really big, I think saying, hey, I'm gonna try and lose like 5 pounds a month. If you can lose 5 pounds a month at say like 2,500 calorie deficit, or at 2,500 calories, lose 5 pounds a month. Losing 5 pounds a month is pretty easy until you get to where you can only eat like 2,000 calories a day. Then but by the time you get down to shorting yourself to 2,000, you're used to it more, and then eventually you get down to like, okay, you've lost enough weight, so now you have to drop to 1,800, and 1,600 and 1,500, depending on how much weight you're trying to lose. But it's better for me, I think, than if you are regularly overeating more than 2,500 calories, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna eat 1,500 calories or 1,800 calories. That's a big drop. It's more painful. I don't think it's as sustainable. I think finding a sustainable decline is better. He says, I bet it was pretty hard. It was hard, but I mean, for me, it just came down to like, I wanted to be, just wanted to be healthy again. I wanted to like be able to sit up from, and not feel bad. And there's weird things like when you get that heavy, like, hold on, I gotta fix this. When you get that heavy, things you never had issues with before become issues. Like, so 60 Day says, it's so hard for me not to eat all the junk food at once I have at home. Yeah, keep that up. What is that tattoo? Tattoo is Chinese symbol Yi. It's for right. It's an old Chinese character, an older one for the word righteous. I lived in China for a few years with my family. So me, my dad, and my brother, we all have the same tattoo. I'm gonna switch to shoulder shrugs. I'm the same way. See, I can't keep junk food in the house for myself. Like things that I want to eat. Like if I get something for my kids, it's easier. But if it's from like something I love, like okay, I love um, the powdered raspberry filled donuts, and like Hostess originally made them, but they stopped making them, so now different brands make them. But that's my favorite, and I will. If I bought a box today, there is a 50-50 chance. There's 6 donuts in the box. 50-50 chance I eat them all today, and 100% chance they'll all be gone by like 11 o'clock the next day. By myself, I'll eat them all. And then if I bring home, right now it's easier because I've gotten better at it. But like there was a while, if I had beer in the fridge, I would not drink it all, and I would regularly like drink like a 6-pack of beer, like in a day by myself. That was where I put on the most weight, was during the COVID years. When they said all the bars were going to close, I stocked up on alcohol. And and then just drank way too much. Not even getting drunk, just like drinking just continually. Lucy says, I found the best solution for me is just to somehow resist buying it at the shop. Maybe one day I'll have the discipline not to eat everything at once. Copa Man says, for me, it's hard to eat some junk food at once, even if I love them. Well, you are blessed for that, Copa. And Dixie, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's ever going to change for me. Like, it hasn't yet. I can't help. Like, if it's in the house, I'm eating it all. Like, pizza's a good example. I'll eat, you know, all the pizza. Like, if we buy an extra large, I'm gonna eat half. If we buy a large, it's all gone. He says, "Oh, we don't talk about pizzas." Oh man, yeah, pizza's a hard one. I'll tell you the one thing that's helped though is I don't know about where you live, but fast food prices in California have gotten ridiculous, and I'm so disgusted and insulted by the prices. I don't want to buy it. Like I would rather go home and cook. Um, and especially like I've gotten faster at cooking. So if like the McDonald's drive-through line is 4 cars deep, I know if I go home, I can actually just cook a burger myself in less time. But that's made easier. And the bad service, like service standards in California are horrible. Like, so yeah, Dixie says, yeah, it's ridiculous to spend like $8 on a mediocre bad burger. Oh, I mean, but here in Cali, like $8 like will only buy you like a McDonald's burger. When I was a kid, even up through like 18 and 19, um, there's this challenge where you could go to Taco Bell and you would buy $20 of Taco Bell and you couldn't finish it because you get so much money or so much food for $20. And now, I can buy 2 items or 3 items, and yeah, about 3 items the other day, and it was like 14.86. I was like, this is crazy. Lucy says it's 1.2 or 1.5 euro here for the cheapest one. Uh, I don't know the conversion rate for euros off the top of my head. What was that? That like $5 or zero less than $1? Can't remember. I haven't done the conversion rates for money in a while. I used to do China's all the time. $1.60. Okay. Where are you at? Where you're using euros? I used to watch even when I was like home from China for a while. I would watch the exchange rates. I always thought it was crazy that even after it being so long since the heyday of the British Empire, the pound was always worth so much. What was in France? Same there. Tell you in China, like food prices from an American standpoint were so cheap. You get so much food in China. Um, Granted, it wasn't always the best. It always tasted good. Like you're never gonna like the taste of the food was always really good. It the quality of the food or how sick it could make you was the problem. But it all tasted good. The trick in China is don't ever look in the kitchen. Like let's say you're at a restaurant, you're gonna go to the restroom. If those kitchen doors start to open, don't look because you don't want to see all the bad stuff that's happening. You don't want to see how dirty it is. You don't want to see all the messy stuff. So don't ever look in the Chinese kitchen. You don't want to see what they're washing the dishes with. Just eat it, and then unless it looks like brains, don't ask what something is. Just eat it because it'll taste really good, and you'll really love something, and then you'll blow it by asking them, "Hey, what is this?" Copeland says it reminds me of India for X reasons. Yeah, I've heard India is the same way. Just don't ask. I just when I'm traveling though, I avoid eating. I don't I don't like to eat blood ever. I don't like. And then brains you don't eat, and monkeys you don't eat. And for the most part, everything tastes good. I only ever had one soup dish in China. I just was the hardest to stomach, and it tasted like someone had taken like stagnant gutter water that had been sitting and had all the trash in it, and like cooked that with some very old socks. And it's very pungent, and that was the hardest soup I ever had to swallow. And you want to do it. You don't want to insult your guest or sorry your host. Um, so you just eat whatever's in front of you. And the second worst was when we got served these like big shrimp that hadn't been deveined, and that was pretty gross. But again, you eat it, you smile, you say thank you, because you don't want to cause anyone to lose face. But the one that's in China that's always surprisingly good is frog. Frog is very good. Yeah, I heard some rough stories about India, or some of the habits that you have to get used to. Like just from an American standpoint. Like there's a lot of things like when you travel, you see them and they're different. And then as you think about it, it's fine. But when you first see it, it surprises you. You're like, oh, that's not how we do it. And then you adjust. And you're like, okay, it's it's fine. And I had some people traveling in India that had some stories like that. But they just, you adjust your perspective and move on. All right, I'm gonna do one more set and then I gotta skedaddle. I gotta get the kids moving. I think if I went to India, I would probably gorge myself on naan. I like Indian food. My like fresh hot naan, the bread that they serve. That I I'd have a hard time staying in shape if I was living around that. There's this dish that they serve in China that we don't serve in the U.S. where it's the pig fat and it's just a little bit of meat. So it's similar to bacon, except it's like a thick layer of fat. And you take that and you dip it in sugar and you eat it. And it's so bad for you. Like, it's really bad, but so good. And you just try not to eat a lot of it. But when it's served, it's like really good. Chinese food is really good. Yeah. And when China, like I didn't eat a lot of duck when I lived in the U.S. growing up, but in China, oh man, duck is so good. And whether there's a lot of ways that they cook it. The Peking style is my favorite, like the crispy duck. But there's duck is so good, and it's hard because where I live, for some reason, the Chinese restaurants all stopped serving duck. I think maybe it's because a lot of people weren't ordering it, but it's hard to find good duck where I'm at. But I love duck. Yeah, frog is good. I like frog. In China, you don't eat a lot of beef though. Beef in China is a rough one. If you travel there, I would say stick to chicken, the pork, and the duck, or the frogs. But beef is tough. Um, a lot of times their cows don't have like the same quality of food, and then they don't. A lot of times they cheat before they take it to the market, so they blow the cows up with water. They give them a lot of water, so the cows look fat, but they're not. Um, and like the beef there is just rough. Like you're gonna spend a lot of time chewing if you get any sort of beef product in China. And that may have changed, but in my experience when I was living there, you could just stay away from the beef. Yeah, it's just different how they raise them, and it's I think because it's expensive process to make like the good tender cow beef that we have in the U.S. I think it's harder for the villagers and people to do that. So, but cows and chickens, or sorry, chickens and ducks and frogs are all really good there, and the pigs, really good pig dishes or pork. All right, I gotta go. Thank you guys for coming by. Have a good Tuesday. Tomorrow's leg day, so if you join me tomorrow, you get to watch me destroy my legs. All right, thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Bye.